This video is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research.
What timing? Eric Adams, the New York City mayor, is being criminally charged, with some media outlets alleging he may be arrested tomorrow. I truly wonder what this could be about. At the same time we just had that meeting in New York, everyone from everywhere is stepping down. If I remember correctly, Diddy was arrested in New York as well. Some are even alleging that he's working with a different country. All alleged, nothing fact yet. They say they'll be unsealed tomorrow.
Welcome back to another episode of Quick Reaction TV, where I give you my quickest reaction to the creepiest, craziest, funniest, wildest TikToks. Please like, subscribe, and rock the bell so you won't miss an upload. Join the Quik Crew. This is what we do. We call it Cap the Fact over here. I got a very interesting selection today. Let's jump in. Quick!
You're going to want to hear this. Don't you think it's odd that Alaska is part of the United States of America? The real reason is far darker and more complex than you have been led to believe. Deep within Alaska, there is a black pyramid, an ancient structure that is buried beneath the ground, emitting powerful energy. In 1992, an earthquake in China revealed this pyramid near Mount McKinley. This discovery was picked up by spy satellites, revealing its location to external nations. Indigenous Alaskan tribes also speak of a powerful sacred structure which fits the exact same description as the structure captured on the satellite. But it gets even crazier. According to ancient scripts, the Black Pyramid is part of a global network of ancient energy generators. These pyramids were scattered around the world by a civilization that used to walk with the gods. The purpose was to harness and distribute energy across the world. The same network includes the Great Pyramid of Giza. Since the founding of the United States, extra effort was placed into colonizing Alaska with the aim to reverse engineer the pyramid's technology for modern use.
I've read every fucking theory on how they built those pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza has
The age-old mystery of who built the pyramids. I believe the Nephilim had a part to play in it, and I definitely believe Solomon had a lot of those demons help build it. But what you think? Let me know.
Movies that you need to tap into to better understand the spiritual war that we are in as chosen ones. Now, this first movie is called Dark City, and it drops gems on the manipulation tactics that these shadow elites will use to try to propagate your mind. This movie also draws parallels to the simulation theory in the sense that there are beings that create the reality that we see in front of us. Now, this second movie is called Transcendence, and this involves the integration of human consciousness with artificial technologies to create a false god. This movie perfectly illustrates the mentality that these rich individuals have who want to use artificial intelligence. These individuals are not connected to an original source, so they seek transhumanism to become these artificial gods. And you need to tune into Interstellar, as it gives great insight on dimensional paradoxes and reality.
Okay. Interstellar, starring Matthew McConaughey, one of my favorite movies to watch. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you go see it now. But the other two movies that the gentleman just displayed, I have not saw them. You guys let me know if you have. I would love to know your take on it in the comments below.
If you're in North Florida and you are in the path of the hurricane, you need to watch this.
Evening, but Helene is an expansive storm with hazards that are already extending out hundreds of miles away from the center, and those hazards are going to play out in multiple life-threatening forms over the next 12 to 24 hours.
Y'all heard what he said? Multiple life scenarios will be taking place the next 12 to 24 hours within this area over here. They're talking about waves the sizes of 2-story homes, y'all.
The area we're most concerned about is here between Carabel and Sewanee River, where we're expecting to see a storm surge inundation of 15 to 20 feet above ground level. So again, I'm 6 feet tall. That's water 3.5, 4 times as high as I am. And that's up to the top of a second-story building. Again, a really unsurvivable scenario is going to play out here in this portion of the Florida coastline. And really unsurvivable scenario is going to play out here in this portion of the Florida coastline.
And this is what it looks like rolling into Florida, y'all. Look at those clouds. But hold on, y'all. I just noticed something. Do y'all see that? Doesn't that look like the Chucky doll? Look at that. Look at the eye, the nose, the lips, and the hair, the red hair. Doesn't that look like the Chucky doll? or some type of entity like swallowing something. That could be the mouth right there and the other part of the mouth. But look at that, it kind of looks like the Chucky doll, huh? Look, the ears. But the eye is what got me, y'all. That thing look crazy. If you live in the Big Bend area, y'all need to rethink about what y'all need to do. I know you guys are Floridians and y'all stick out the storms, but you heard what he said, y'all. But this is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. Let me know what you guys think about that Chucky reference. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift. Peace out.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Shout out Conscious Juice. I was with you until you got to that Chucky doll. I mean, I don't know. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below.
Storm Helene has just officially made landfall, and it has got to be the most Florida thing I've ever seen. I mean, before it even arrived, you had people making sure Helene knew which country she was about to enter. You had people driving through the streets and over bridges like it was just a little drizzle. People going on their evening jogs in the middle of a Category 4 hurricane. Oh, and for those who refuse to listen to the mandatory evacuation, well, they're going live on TikTok, in the middle of their living room on a kayak. The Coast Guard had to save a man and his dog after their sailboat started taking on water. The International Space Station flew over the storm as it approached the Gulf of Florida. Tampa's General Hospital successfully used their aquafence to hold back the rising waters. This video was captured of waves crashing into a house in the Venetian Isles in St. Petersburg. And what's wild is that all of the footage you're seeing is actually before it made landfall, because it only officially hit the Florida Big Bend at close to midnight. So when people actually start to wake up, be ready to see a whole lot of crazy videos, because it had winds of up to 140 miles per hour. And of course, as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
If the conditions are that bad now and it hasn't made landfall, Helene, whatever the name is, or however you pronounce it, I can only imagine what it's going to be or what it might leave behind once it does hit landfall. Check on your loved ones who refuse to leave and get them out of there.
Psst, you. Psst, you. Yeah, you. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you can join me on another dive down a rabbit hole. Let's get back to it. Quick!
What timing? Eric Adams, the New York City mayor, is being criminally charged, with some media outlets alleging he may be arrested tomorrow. I truly wonder what this could be about. At the same time we just had that meeting in New York, everyone from everywhere is stepping down. If I remember correctly, Diddy was arrested in New York as well. Some are even alleging that he's working with a different country. All alleged, nothing fact yet. They say they'll be unsealed tomorrow. But he's already claiming his innocence.
My fellow New Yorkers, it is now my belief that the federal government intends to charge me with crimes. If so, these charges will be entirely false, based on lies.
He then says the charges won't be surprising. I'm not sure what that means exactly. But at the same time, 1 year ago he said this.
Support, and let me tell you something, New Yorkers. Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. One time we were just in Venezuela. Now we're in Ecuador.
So who knows? Maybe he's telling the truth. I don't know. This far, everything's alleged. It'll be unsealed tomorrow, and we'll see what the facts are. November is going to be absolutely insane.
I agree. November is going to be a crazy month, and y'all know what I mean. But outside of that, do y'all believe what he's saying? Are they trying to come at it? Is it another play? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below.
And it's about to get even more interesting this year, y'all. Listen to what Alexa just detected from the James Webb Telescope that is heading down to Earth.
Alexa, what did the James Webb Telescope detect that is heading towards Earth?
From Gitbook.io. The James Webb Telescope has spotted an armada of alien ships heading toward Earth at near light speed.
So we have an armada of ships heading to planet Earth as we speak. There's going to be a second moon in our atmosphere, which I believe it's already here. Because the fact of the matter is, people are seeing things like this. A huge spherical object behind the sun. And another one over here. And then seeing dark rainbows that we have never seen before on planet Earth. We're having an annular Ring of Fire solar eclipse on October the 2nd. And then to top it all off, in the Netflix series 3 Body Problem, they already told us that they were on their way. Listen.
We built an interstellar fleet of 1,000 ships. They are the final hope of civilization number 9478. And they are on their way.
You'll welcome us, won't you?
Did y'all forget the handbook that was given to police across the whole United States? And now Alexa is telling us that they have an armada of ships heading our way? It's about to get on and cracking, family. I be telling y'all, big shifts are taking place right now. Just because you don't hear about it doesn't mean it's not happening. But this video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. Let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comments below. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift, y'all. Peace in.
Very interesting theory. Very interesting. I don't know if I believe it, and I can't count it out. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Do y'all think there's a secret alien race headed towards us, even though we live underneath a firmament? I just wanted to throw that out there. But nah, I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Let me know. Hey, Quik Crew. This clip is a little long. I'm doing it a little different. But this guy is very interesting and he normally has something good to say. So let's check it out.
Wait, nobody really knows who they are or where they came from? Why not? Well, our histories are so confusing because of religion, and I mean mythologies. What we have today in every place is not history passed down from ancestors to descendants. We have mythological fairy tales. But despite what your stories say, you did not spring forth from the grasslands, neither did you coalesce from the aether. You came from somewhere to get there. All of you. We all come from the loins of one of Noah's 3 sons, and they got off a boat that landed somewhere right up in there. Even they got here by boat. But wait, isn't the flood just mythology? Well, there's an interesting thing about that. It is the oldest mythological story that is shared by virtually everyone. Well, floods happen all the time locally. Of course they're all gonna have a flood story. No, they all share the flood story from the Bible. The details get a little more telephone game the further that it spreads out from the source, of course. Everything adapts and evolves the further it gets from the source. Do we not know that? We do. It's called microevolution. Happens with language, literature, culture, customs, skin color. Further you get from the source, the more you change. It's well documented. But oddly enough, religion and mythology is how we can actually trace back who we all are and where we all did come from. It leaves us a clue. The mythologies and religions are books of receipts of who we are and where we came from. Archaeology happens to support every bit of this, what I'm about to tell you, except their timelines are whack because time is relative and has this little tricky thing about it. You see, the further you try to look back in time, the older everything is gonna try to look. But this is a distortion, like unto gravitational lensing, because everything that exists is on wave function, waxes and wanes, crescendos and decrescendos, including time. Because time is a byproduct of the mechanics of our universe. It's toroidal, wave function. There is no such thing as a constant anything anywhere. It is all wave function, everywhere. Deep time is an unnecessary illusion. One parable and I'm done with this talk. When you turn on your Nintendo, Mario World does not have to evolve to come into existence because it all exists in the code itself. And the code is one mechanism starting another mechanism, starting another mechanism, It happens real quick. It doesn't take billions of years. It doesn't have to evolve that way. It's all inherent in the code. What code? Our universe is binary language, ones and zeros. Like unto a simulation? Yeah, that's what all our simulations are based on, is our reality. So to say our reality is like unto a simulation is only logical because when we simulate realities, we use this to do it. The fact that we can simulate realities that don't themselves need to take millions and billions of years to evolve into existence proves that neither does ours. As above, so below. From the macro to the micro. It's Russian nesting dolls. I told you all this. So history is no mystery. It just looks like one. But we have all the receipts and the archaeology. There's a whole lot more archaeology. Wait till Antarctica melts. They're gonna have to explain that 200,000 year freeze. Huh. 200,000 years it's been frozen? I don't think so, bro. I think that happened 5,000 years ago, and we're gonna find out. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. I digress. How do mythologies and religions help us trace our histories to where we come from? Well, you're in luck. I've made a 20-year study of this. Despite what they tell you about our history, we know that civilization restarted about 5,000 years ago. Restarted from what? Well, there was a global flood, cataclysm. We know there was a worldwide civilization before that cataclysm. And we know that it restarted down there in Sumer. Wait, how do we know there was a civilization before the cataclysm? Well, there's megalithic structures all over the world that share common design and themes. Just like all the skyscrapers of today all began in one place and then copied one another, but changed with the style further it got from the source. The skyscrapers are not exactly the same, but they are all based on the same design, and they all appeared right at the same time because of that. Just like the megalithic structures of a worldwide civilization that no longer appears anywhere. Where are their bones even? They washed into the abyss. They are the substrata of the Mariana Trench. And there's trenches everywhere because they all got washed into hell. Fountains of the deep broke open, and then after the flood, the earth opened her mouth and swallowed the water. I'll give you another example of this. The people in the Indus Valley did not start carving statues of their gods until after the Greeks got there and put up statues of their own. And with this new competition in the land, the people who made no statues to their gods began copying the Greeks according to their own mythologies. Because if the Greek gods are going to be represented by images in our place, well, then our gods are going to be represented by images in our place too. And that is how that happened. All of the Buddhist carvings are because the Greeks came down there and subjugated them. Skyscrapers and megalithic structures. Competition. The indomitable human spirit. Racing towards what? World domination. Who? The nations. Anyway, are these talks as fun for you as they are for me? Because they're fun for me. I like this stuff a lot. It is my bread and butter, and I don't charge nobody for it. And yet blessings rain down from heaven. Funniest thing. That what Jesus said is true? I mean, anyway, I want to be very clear that it is true. Look, the history of the world is divided into 4 ages. We're in the 4th one. But it started in the first one, that worldwide civilization. From the time of creation, it ended at the flood. The age is over. When Noah and his 3 sons got off the boat, the second age began. Civilization restarted. There were 3 different worldviews in the world in those days. Yea, there were 4, because Noah had one. But Shem's was just Noah's. He carried it on. Best he could. Japheth carried on Shem's. Not Noah's, Shem's. Once removed. Shem might know the whole story from Noah, but he surely don't know it like Noah does. Shem did not build the ark, Noah did. So Shem's viewpoint is going to differ from Noah's. He's a generation removed. You don't share the same viewpoint as your parents, do you? You're in a new place now, in a new time now, aren't you? We might try to hold to our grandfather's worldviews as best as we can, but we know that they weren't entirely correct, don't we? And so we're going to have to change some of that, aren't we? And Shem probably had that same attitude towards Noah, didn't he? Because we're talking about a son and his father, aren't we? So immediately, they get off the boat. You got Shem's perspective, you got Japheth's perspective, and you have Ham's perspective. Ham, we know from the Old Testament, wasn't right in his head. So right away, you've got 3 different dudes and their wives, 3 different understandings of the world and what has happened, and what it all means. Ham's children go down and restart civilization, which thing was learned from the fallen angels of the pre-flood world. They did not follow after the God of Noah, they followed after the gods of the antediluvian world. So everything they said about the story was flavored from that perspective. Japheth's people didn't hang around. They were like, nah, we ain't doing that. They left. The first peoples to populate the far-flung places in the Isles. The Aboriginals. Japheth's people shunned the technology. We don't want anything to do with that. We want to live naturally, they said, and did such. Ham's people were after civilization and technology. Japheth's people were living natural. And so from their perspective, nature became the gods. In their retelling of the story, the further that they spread. Because the forces of nature, the angels, fell in the antediluvian world. The angels, the forces of nature themselves, are personified because they're intelligent people. from a higher plane of existence? Heaven. The forces of nature are angels that live in heaven, but they're also created, so we don't worship those. Like, that part of the story is true. The forces of nature are divine celestial beings. We know this from science. Anyway, they have metabolisms, therefore they have to have consciousness and perception, because that's what it is. Never mind. Shem's people did a bunch of different stuff. They ruled over the people there in the land of Canaan, from cities, did the whole empire thing too. Some of them were nomadic, shepherds, and everyone sort of established themselves in the second age. But then a funny thing happened. The second age ended in cataclysms galore, Armageddons, wars, empires collided. And it's not like one age just ends and another begins. Another age ends as the new age is born. So there's a little overlap there between the second age and the third age as the third age was born. But a funny thing happened with the mythologies and the religions. You had Japheth's people worshiping nature. You had Ham's people worshiping the old gods. And their ancestors got added to that religion, namely Semiramis and Nimrod, which is where the idea of emperor god Pharaoh comes from. The old gods are no longer here. These people can represent them. They are the old gods born into the world as people now. The story evolved, but right in the beginning of the third age, the tribe of Dan started a new religion where they took all three perspectives, all three concepts, and wrapped them up into one nice, neat little package to rule them all. One ring to rule them all. Included details from everyone's perspective so that it can be familiar in some way to everybody. And then that beast from the sea conquered and colonized the whole known world with it, setting the stage for the fourth age, where that beast from the sea went and did it all again, conquered and colonized everybody, under a new worldview, which is just the old worldview repackaged, slightly evolved and adapted for modern times. They call it science now. In the third age, it was called mythology. Same thing, all grown up. And it started just outside of Laish in 1400 BC. And time keeps on ticking.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT!
My man broke that down like that Ford I just passed. Y'all let me know what y'all think on his synopsis of humanity. I thought that was pretty interesting.
That boy is good.
There it is, Quik Crew. We made it to the end. Please like, comment, subscribe on today's video so we can do it again. And remember, keep God first, respect your parents, love your kids. And I'll see you in the next vid. Quik!